Welcome to Step 9 of the Clarity tutorial. In this segment, we'll go over how to set up distribution practices for your leads. Clarity gives you several ways to do this that can help you manage your team the way you want to. Let's get started. Go to clarity-crm.com. Enter your login information and let's go to the home page. Under the Home tab, there's a Manage menu item at the top. Expand the Manage tab by selecting it and then click on Lead Distribution in the menu list. This is the Manage Lead Distribution window. You should see the lead source we created in Step 8. In this section, we're going to look at how leads get distributed. For example, here are a few factors you have control of: when and how quickly they go out, who can get them, and how many they can get. Let me show you how this works. Click on the source box and you'll see an option list expand beneath it. This is where you choose your distribution options. Before we get into this, we need to define a couple levels of urgency that Clarity applies to leads as they come into your system. In other words, leads that are hot off the press and leads that are older. Clarity can distribute new leads in real time. Within milliseconds of receipt, they can be dispersed to you and your team. In the blast and push options, there are two levels of urgency. When being delivered to your team in real time, they show up in a blue box first. 2 minutes later, they will be transferred to a red box to show the downgraded urgency. If you are already purchasing leads, then you probably know how important it is to call as soon as possible, because others are probably already calling them as well. Now, let's get into these options. Blast, push, and pull. Think about this as levels of urgency, blast being the most urgent, and pull being the least urgent. Okay, let's start with the distribution options. Blast. All leads get pushed to all available users as they come in. This is a blue box scenario. First person to pick it gets it. Push. Leads get distributed in a round-robin format. In other words, it's a next-in-line scenario, but still gets delivered to the blue box level of urgency. Pull. Leads get pushed to all available users, except this is a lower level of urgency and they go to the red box. Next, with these options marked, leads are delivered to users on your team that are online with their Clarity account. But they can also be delivered via an email notification or a text notification. In this example, leads are only being delivered to people if they are logged in. But if you're out of the office a lot, having them sent to an email or a mobile device may work better. In this next section, you may have users that manage their time better than others. Here, you can decide if users get leads from this source, how many blue box leads, red box leads, and/or set total leads that they can get per day. So from our example, we have both Lisa and Jay able to receive leads with no limits on the amount. Leads will be delivered if they are logged in, and they will take turns getting leads as they come in with the push option. Once you are done selecting these options, you can click the lead source box to close the drop-down display. If you have multiple lead sources, you can dictate how these get distributed even more. All the options are here to let you mold Clarity into the type of business model you want to run. Let's move on to Step 10 and talk about the optimized workflow. This has to do with how often uncontacted leads show up in your Today tab and organizing this process to meet your business's best practices. As always, please feel free to contact support with additional questions, and thank you for building your business with Clarity.